I used to fall for this mistake. I'd see a government headline, a big announcement about some company getting federal money, and I'd rush to look up the stock. Usually, it had already jumped 200% in 2 weeks. I felt late. Then I'd think, well, if the White House is involved, it's probably still going higher, right? So I'd buy in. And more than once, I got crushed. See, there's this idea floating around that if the government invests in a company, takes a stake, gives a loan, or even just mentions its name, it must be a golden ticket. But that's not how it works, not in real life, and definitely not in the stock market. Now here's why this really matters to your money, especially if you're investing for the long term or planning for retirement. These kinds of headlines can trick your brain. They create urgency, they trigger FOMO, and they make you forget the one rule that protects your wealth. Don't chase, prepare. That's what this video is about.
Disclaimer: this video is for educational purposes only and not financial advice. Investing involves risk, including loss of principal. Past performance does not guarantee future results.
I'm going to show you how to spot the pattern early, how to use these headlines to build a smarter watch list, not a gambling habit. And I'll walk you through 3 stocks that could fit the White House's next move. One of them has something unusual, a real advantage most people overlook. But I'll get to that in a minute. Let's start with something simple. What does it actually mean when the government takes a stake in a company? When people hear the phrase, the government took a stake in a company, it sounds big. But what does it really mean? Sometimes the government buys shares directly, like any investor would. Other times, it gives the company a loan with special terms, or it might get something called a warrant, which is just the right to buy shares later, often at a set price. It can even support a company through partnerships or joint ventures that don't involve ownership at all, but still send a clear message: we're backing this. Here's why that matters. When the government shows up like that, with money, contracts, or even just attention, it can change how the entire market views a company. Think about USA Rare Earth. Barely anyone was talking about it. Then the White House backed it with funding. Suddenly, it looked like a national asset, and the stock exploded. That's the kind of move that flips a company's story overnight. But here's the trap. Just because a company gets support doesn't mean it's a good investment right now, or that the price reflects what it's truly worth. That's where people get hurt. They chase stories instead of building smart watch lists. So let's slow down. I'm not here to hype rumors. I'm here to help you spot patterns that might matter, the kind of patterns that let you prepare instead of react. That's what this video is about. And once you see the playbook, you'll understand why. There's a pattern I keep seeing, not once or twice, but again and again whenever the White House moves money into a new industry. It's not random. It usually follows a clear set of priorities. First, national security. If a company builds tech or materials used in defense, it moves up the list. Second, supply chain dependence on China. If China controls 80 to 90% of a critical resource, like rare earths or battery metals, U.S. leadership wants options fast. Third, AI and energy infrastructure. The future needs chips, and those chips need power. If we can't power the data centers, we can't grow the AI sector. And last, speed. The government doesn't like waiting 10 years for a factory to get built. If something already exists or can scale quickly, it becomes much more attractive. Think about it like this. If you drew a pie chart of global supply for rare earth magnets, about 90% of it comes from China. That's not a healthy balance. That's a risk. And that risk is exactly what Washington is trying to fix. So when a company is helping solve that problem, building mines, making chips, powering AI, and they're doing it fast on U.S. soil, that's a green flag. And the first stock we'll talk about, it's not flashy, it's not running the AI headlines, but it quietly powers almost everything you touch, and it might be the next big move nobody's looking at yet. There's a chip company most people never talk about. It doesn't make AI chips, it's not flashy, but it quietly powers the tools, machines, and systems America runs on. It's called Global Foundries, ticker GFS. Here's why I put it on my White House watch list. Boring chips matter more than we think. These are the chips in your car, in defense systems, in airplanes, routers, industrial tools, and power grids. They don't need the latest bleeding-edge AI tech. They just need to work every single time. The flashy names like NVIDIA get all the attention. And yes, AI chips are exciting. But if a missile system fails because of a chip shortage or a factory line shuts down over a missing microcontroller, that's not a stock story. That's national security. And that's why I believe GFS fits the White House's playbook. They already got CHIPS Act funding to expand U.S. manufacturing. They're one of the few who can produce these workhorse chips at scale, right here in America. So why don't more investors talk about them? Because we're wired to chase new and shiny. Our brains love the next big thing, but often it's the reliable stuff in the background that keeps everything moving, and we only notice it when it breaks. If you could look at a chart showing where all chips go, you'd see something surprising. Most don't go into AI. They go into vehicles, defense, industrial tools, and consumer electronics, places GFS serves every day. So this isn't a speculation stock, it's a backbone stock. And if the White House wants supply chain security, GFS makes the list. Now, the next name on my watch list is very different. It's not running yet, it's starting. And the key to its story isn't about technology, it's about time. Let's talk about nuclear. Most people think nuclear power is all about big plants, giant costs, and red tape. But what if the next wave is smaller, faster, and backed by government support? That's where Oklo comes in, ticker OKLO. Their idea is something called a small modular reactor. Think of it like a tiny power plant, about the size of a shipping container. It doesn't take a decade to build. It doesn't need huge water systems, and it could sit next to a data center to provide clean, steady energy around the clock. Sounds simple, right? It's not. The tech is early, the rules are strict, the timelines are long. But here's the part that caught my attention. Oklo isn't just talking about these reactors. They're already in pilot programs with the Department of Energy. And the current energy secretary under the Trump administration used to serve on Oklo's board. That doesn't mean anything is guaranteed, but it does mean this company has relationships. And in Washington, relationships can lead to results. Still, here's where a lot of investors get tripped up. They see a great story and think that means it's a great stock right now. But good idea doesn't always mean good timing, especially with early-stage companies like this. What I'm watching is whether Oklo can hit its first deployment milestones and whether the government adds funding, not just permission. If you saw a chart showing how much energy data centers will need, it would climb like a staircase. AI isn't just about brain power, it needs megawatts, lots of them. So Oklo fits the bigger theme, secure energy for the AI future. But don't confuse potential with predictability. If this works, it could be huge, but it's not a buy and forget stock. And the next one I'll show you, it's very different from Oklo because it already has what Oklo's still trying to build, a working licensed facility, and something else most people forget to value, speed. There's something powerful about a company that's already up and running. While other businesses are making plans, filing permits, and raising money, this one is already operating today. That's what caught my attention with Energy Fuels, ticker UUUU. They own and operate the White Mesa Mill in Utah, the only fully licensed and operating conventional uranium mill in the United States. That gives them something most others don't have, a head start. In a world where the U.S. government wants to move faster to reduce reliance on China, build domestic supply chains, and secure rare earths, speed matters, and real assets beat paper plans. We've seen this before. A company announces a factory, but it won't open for 5 years. It looks great in a deck, but the value is distant. With UUU, there's already a working facility. They're also expanding into rare earth processing, and they just made a move to acquire Australian Strategic Materials, giving them a chance to go from mine to metal. not just in theory, but in practice. It's the difference between someday and scaling now. So why do investors still chase someday stories instead? Because our brains love potential. We imagine what could be, not what is. That's a common behavioral trap. The shiny pitch deck feels more exciting than the dusty factory. But when the government steps in, they often look at who can deliver fast. That's why this one's on my radar. If you lined up a simple timeline of time to build versus time to scale, you'd see the gap. Years for some, months for others. That speed gap can become a strategic edge and potentially an investment edge too. But maybe you're wondering, hasn't this stock already had a big run? It has, but that doesn't always mean it's too late. There's a myth that wrecks portfolios. If it's up big, I missed it. I used to believe that. I'd look at a chart, see a stock that had doubled or tripled, and think, no way it goes higher from here. But price alone doesn't tell you the whole story. What matters more is what comes next. Is there still real growth ahead? Is there new demand? Is the market still adjusting to a bigger, more important role for that company? Energy fuels may be up big, but they're also entering a new phase. More processing, more demand, more government interest. That's where policy tailwinds can extend momentum. And that's when headlines become something deeper. Real contracts, real expansion.
Here's a quick recap of the 3 stocks we covered and why they're on my White House watch list. First, Global Foundries, GFS. They don't make flashy AI chips. They make the everyday chips that keep cars, planes, and defense systems running. If the government wants chip security, GFS is already on the map and already making them in the US. Second, Oklo, OKLO. They're trying to reinvent nuclear with small modular reactors. It's early, it's risky, but they've got deep ties to Washington and are already in Department of Energy pilot programs. And AI's power demands make this space hard to ignore. Third, Energy Fuels, UUUU. They already own and operate a licensed uranium mill, the only one of its kind in the US. That gives them a speed advantage. Plus, they're expanding into rare earth processing. It's not just a story, it's a working operation.
Now, to be very clear, this is not advice. These aren't predictions. This is a framework, a way to think smarter, a watch list, not a wish list. That's how I stay prepared when headlines hit, instead of reacting in a panic. And in the next video, I'm going to walk you through how I build a policy-proof dividend plan, one that doesn't fall apart when the story changes or the hype fades. So if you're serious about long-term investing with steady cash flow, make sure you're subscribed. Now I want to hear from you. Which one matters more to you right now? Chips, nuclear, or critical minerals, and why? Drop your answer in the comments. I read every one. Let's get smarter together.